KCAL rocks now. I know it's not a Monday or a Thursday, but it is a Tuesday, and we need to talk sports. We're back from the big weekend with our guy Pep. What's up, Pep?
And here's why, because it's football season, guys. We've got NFL this coming up week, and then we had another full slate. I say full slate, maybe like 5 or 6 games of college football over the weekend. And if I can, just real quick, I want to start off with a couple shout outs to Inland Empire guys that blew up over the weekend. First off, Centennial High School running back J.J. Taylor making the New England Patriots 53-man roster.
Wow.
So the pride of Centennial High School running that rock for the Patriots this weekend against Miami. And I know 40 years Centennial guy, so that hits real close to home for you.
That's the thing. With everything we're hearing, too, about that new book, The Dynasty, coming out, we know that he is going to be treated the exact same way that Belichick treated Brady, because he treats everybody like a rookie. That is awesome for one of our IE guys to be there and be under one of the greatest NFL coaches of all time.
Very cool, dude.
Man, what a dream come true for J.J. Taylor, the pride of Centennial High School. And then we've got Tyler Algiere. Now, he might not be a household name yet, but he is the starting running back for BYU, and he went off against Navy last night. BYU won 55-3, and Algiere had 123 on the ground, 2 touchdowns, but they really spread the wealth in that one. He didn't get a ton of carries. He only had like 12 carries, but he went off. Keep an eye on Tyler Algiere at BYU. He's a good one at running back.
See, listeners out there, 40 and Pep, they are hometown boys. I mean, you guys are used to this area, just cranking out a bunch of badass athletes. Since I've been here the last 10 years, this place just puts them out. Kenny Clark, I mean, everywhere. It's really cool.
Dude, so many guys with the Inland Empire. And I should say Algiere from Kaiser High School in Fontana. So there's guys, I mean, we could spend the next 30 minutes just talking about guys from the IE getting ready for NFL games this weekend. But, I mean, they're all over the place.
Do the Raiders play the Patriots? We could get a little IE on IE there with Vontez Burfict going after JJ. That's Centennial.
It would be so great.
Can you tell him a homer?
A Husky on Husky crime out, if that would happen.
As you should be.
Husky born, Husky bred. Come on.
It just always seems like there's an IE guy on every team. Like, you need that guy on your team.
Yeah, absolutely, man. The IE produces great players. Not only are they great players, but they're tough players, man. IE's blue collar, man. They're not afraid of that work. They put in the work, and they get those opportunities, and they make the most of them. That's kind of the IE culture, and it spills over onto the football field. That's what we do.
Evil Empire, baby.
So we got a little NFL to get to, a little NBA playoffs, a little baseball. It's all brought to you by Matheson Gas, the gas professionals. 3 locations across the Inland Empire, because we all know by now gas is essential. Local businesses, local restaurants, hospitals use gas. Listen, they've got your cooling supplies. It's still hot out there. They've got your welding supplies. But again, number 1 in the gas game, that is Matheson Gas. You can visit them online at mathesongas.com. And again, in Rancho Cucamonga, Fontana, and Riverside, that is Matheson Gas. So we're going into week 1 of the NFL season. A lot of big games. We'll talk more about this coming up on Thursday of this week. But a lot of big games coming up this week. And I think one of the marquee showdowns, and I know, 40, you don't want to hear this because it's the Cowboys, but the Cowboys against the Rams. I mean, that's a kind of a marquee showdown. And again, the Rams opening up the season at home.
Let's go, LA. Come on, boys.
I think it'll be a good matchup, and we get to see, dare we say it, the speed at receiver for the Cowboys. I kind of want to see how fast they are.
The Cowboys are loaded at receiver. Absolutely.
The lightning fast. It's a video game style is what I hear.
I saw so in Super Bowl predictions, how they kind of lay out the whole playoffs and how they think who's going to make the playoffs and who's going to go to the Super Bowl, blah, 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 blah. They said the Cowboys will win the NFC and get to the Super Bowl. But you know what? Like, if you look hard enough, I think there's always at least one NFL prediction that says, oh, yeah, Dallas is going to be really good this year. They're going to go all the way. I think we see that every year, and we know how that plays out.
How stunned would you be if they did make it to the... I would be stunned.
I mean, 2020 has been miserable enough.
You're right. You're right. You're right about that. It could be.
Oh, if there was a year, it'd be 2020 for the Cowboys,
right?
Wouldn't it?
Why not?
Wouldn't it?
Can them and the Raiders somehow both win it? They win a tie Super Bowl.
I like that.
We'll talk more NFL coming up on Thursday. To the NBA playoffs, Lakers, Rockets, Game 3 tonight. That series is tied at 1 apiece. Again, we knew Houston was going to give them a battle. It should be a real battle this series.
The matchup is a good one.
It's one of those times where it is funny because seating is absolutely out the window. There is no home court advantage, and it's fun to watch because, I mean, you're seeing like Miami, who was killing it. They were undefeated in the playoffs until finally the Bucks got an overtime win to save their playoff season. Like, the playoffs in the NBA bubble have been great.
Hey, Pep, do you think that the Rockets figured out to just keep the ball out of Westbrook's hands?
You know what's funny is, like, because remember when Russell Westbrook joined the Houston Rockets, they're like, how is this going to work? Because James Harden is the guy that needs the ball in his hands all the time. And they were actually pretty good when Russell Westbrook did not play. So I don't know. Like, I'm not saying they're a better team with him not on the floor, but the offense might flow a little better because he's not on the floor, if that makes sense.
Right.
He's a bonehead. Dude, he forced a Game 7 with Oklahoma City. Never should have happened. But he did the same thing he did at Oklahoma City. He just, like, got the ball at a crucial moment. Huge turnover. And then turned around and did it again. I was like, oh, my God, he's imploding right in front of us.
Westbrook.
He did.
Man, he's a great player. But, yes, I don't know. Between Westbrook and Harden, like, you can't take them off the floor because they give Houston the best chance to compete with the Lakers, right? So, I don't know. That's one of those catch-22s because Houston is a very good team, even with Westbrook not on the floor. But Game 3 is tonight, Lakers-Rockets. The Clippers, they beat Denver last night, 113-107. Kawhi, the pride of King High School in Riverside, 23 points, 14 rebounds. But the highlight of the game, did you guys see this? He blocked a dunk from Jamal Murray of the Nuggets with just his middle finger. Just one finger.
He got up to the tippy top, and that middle finger grabbed onto the ball. And it held, and he stuffed him.
It was like one of the first things Patrick came in this morning. He's like, did you see the finger?
I was like, hey, Kawhi's out here blocking people with his finger.
Dude, don't forget. So Kawhi Leonard is obviously, he can score the ball. Like, we know that. He can get buckets. He can score the basketball. But where he really changes the game is on the defensive end. And the Clippers have said time and time again, they are a defensive-minded team. Now, I don't completely believe that all the time, but they say they're a defensive-minded team. When they get Paul George to play defense, who can be a great defender, but Kawhi Leonard is that ringleader on the defensive end. If he's blocking shots with just his middle finger, that's unbelievable.
Another IE guy, just doing that every little thing, bringing his lunch pail to work and kicking ass.
You guys see the theme, right? Every Monday and Thursday when we do sports, Tuesday in this case, it's IE guys, man, all over the place. NBA, NFL, all over the place. And finally, let's hit the diamond real quick, guys, as we wrap things up here. Dodgers and Diamondbacks tonight. The Dodgers, still best team in baseball, trying to hold off the Slam Diego, right? Trying to hold off the Friars here because they're playing. Actually, two best teams in the National League are in the National League West, Dodgers and Padres right now. So they're going to take on the D-backs tonight. But I want to give a quick shout-out to Mike Trout. Again, 40's not even a baseball guy, but he knows. The Angels are having another bad season, but Mike Trout is still the guy. Home run number 300 over the weekend now. The Angels' all-time leader in home runs, passing Tim Salmon for the all-time lead in the franchise.
Maybe they need to see if Trout's a pitcher. Have him pitch too.
Whatever it takes, something. Can we get some Angels in there or something? Like, what are we going to do here?
Well, it's funny you say that because I saw something on Twitter that someone interviewed Mike Trout and his wife was like, because they just had their child, right? And they're like, oh, he's such the best dad. He can change the diapers so well. And she said, he's good at everything. I'm like, so maybe there's something to that, Patrick. Maybe they put Mike Trout out there on the bump and see if he can pitch because he is good at everything.
The guy is talented, just like my man Pep. Tell him how to get your stuff.
You are way too kind. Inland Sports all over social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We've got the YouTube channel as well. That's Inland Sports. Talking about a lot of these Inland Empire guys.
See? Thanks, Pep.